Hi Aquarius, this is your November 2014 horoscope for everyone who have ascendant, sun or moon in Aquarius. So what is happening in November for us Aquarius? I have my ascendant there. And if you don't know your ascendant sign, you can find it out from my birth chart calculator, the planetary detail table, but you need to know your time of birth within 10-15 minutes at least. Okay. So, the first important thing is that there is a big conglomeration of planets in your 10th house of career. So, it's time for Aquarius to get very busy working. Even if you're somewhere, even if you're somewhere on a holiday, you might somehow, you might get a lot of work emails, you might have some things to do, some responsibilities. So even if you're a stay-at-home mom, you might find yourself that you're having to you're much more active. 10th house is the highest house in the horoscope, so it sits there on top. When you were born, the 10th house means that was the top of the sky above your head. So when so many planets cluster up in that part of your horoscope, it's like it's time for you to shine. It's time for you to do important activities. It's time for you to be the boss. It's time for you to take responsibility. It's time for you to do responsible hard work. And Venus and Mercury, the two planets, the two benefic planets, will help make those tasks more pleasant, will help you have more success in regards to important work engagements and work, projects. And some of you who have their own business, they might have to become more initiative, and they will become more initiative, start new projects, be very busy with work. If some projects have been kind of blocked or going slowly, when now all these planets pass through your 10th house, things might start moving. For some of you, it will be the beginning of November. For some of you, it will be later on. For everyone is different, but definitely very active career month, very active involvement also with authority figures. You might have certain, interactions with authority figures, people standing higher in society somehow. But it's the time to shine. It's the time to improve on your social status. You have this opportunity to start some new projects there, to develop them, and it's connected to your responsibilities in work usually. Or if you're at school, still, you might do some important steps forward to, for your career in some way, through exams you take, or something that will be beneficial for you, for your social status in the long run. And particularly, there will be some very important days in regards to career around the 18th of November, maybe a day before, a day after, maybe a couple of days before or after, because your planet Saturn, which rules you, especially if your ascendant is in Aquarius, because then Saturn becomes the ruler of your whole life path, the ruler of your whole horoscope. Saturn becomes you. But even to a lesser degree, the Sun and Moon, they might see some important developments in regards to career, in regards to status around the 18th when the Sun joins Saturn. But they might feel more agitated around that time as well, because the Sun, when you remember being in the presence of the Sun, imagine the Sun is the king. You kind of feel blinded by the king, by the Sun. So you might feel more agitated overall, but if you are keeping yourself, stable, you have a chance to have some important breakthrough in regards to goals or career. Just be careful with authority figures around that time. And then there is another breakthrough in regards to career, which is possible around the 13th of November, maybe a couple of days before, a couple of days after. And Venus then joins Saturn. So something beneficial, easy, pleasant happening in regard to your career, in regards to, opportunities in career moving forward, maybe finding a job, maybe an authority figure being somehow more understanding towards you, more benevolent. And Venus is the planet of love. When it joins Saturn, it can bring some relationship experiences to you, some pleasant, enjoyable relationship experiences, hopefully, and some social activities, because Venus is the planet of socializing with others. So around the middle of the month, around the 13th, maybe a few days before or after, these themes can be quite active for you. Venusian and also indulgence of the senses and pleasure. Even though you have to be working hard this month, in the middle of the month you're given a few days when you can indulge yourself a bit more, maybe where your charm, which is Venus, can help forward your progress and path in life, which is Saturn. Okay, your charm and diplomacy, or maybe a woman can do that for you, because Venus is women. And then around the 26th of November, another important day for maybe career and business developments for Aquarius. 26th of November, again, a couple of days before, maybe a couple of days after, Mercury joins Saturn, and Saturn loves Mercury. Saturn is you, basically. Mercury is the planet of communication, information. You might receive some important news. It's the same for Capricorns, actually, because they also are ruled by Saturn. And Aquarius, basically, around the 26th of November, some important news, sign some document, get through some negotiations, some important conversation. If you're at school, it might be an important day, and actually auspicious day for taking exams, because Mercury is the planet of the rational mind. Your mind becomes more alert, you become more articulate around the 26th of November. If you have to do presentations or record videos like I do, or write something, you might find yourself that these activities pile themselves together around the 26th of November. Interestingly, I'll be traveling most of November, I think, but I'll be working hardcore from there. Don't worry. I'm not going to abandon my own predictions or abandon you. So yeah, important days for work and for business, because Mercury rules business and communications and information and learning, and you having to apply your skills, any kind of skills, it's Mercury. Practical skills, it happens around the 26th of November. And there is another trend which is happening, Mars. Mars is going to be in your 12th house. So what is that? This can bring some expenses, because 12th house is the house of expenses. The whole of November, if you have not been giving enough to the universe can take back some things from you. Maybe sometimes there can be a losing of something, like an object, but or maybe some expenses that you did not expect that come out of the blue. Be careful with that. It doesn't have to be for bad, but it's just something to be careful about, especially from the 10th till the 15th of November. You might have a bit more expenses than you expected, so you might have to give a bit more energy than you get back. And also, 12th house is a hidden house, and when Mars is there, Mars can be competitors, so hidden competitors, hidden competition. Hopefully, no one will scar your name, but try not to get involved in any kind of gossiping, in any kind of, intrigues, in any kind of backstage maneuvering, because Mars will make sure that those people bite you back. They will retaliate. They will, it's like, don't get involved in some kind of lies, because those lies can backfire on you in November for a big part, Be honest, be straightforward, and just no machinations and manipulations behind the scene, because Mars there will make sure that you have stronger enemies. And some of you, even if you don't get involved in such things, you might feel like something is undermining you, someone that might be backstabbing you. Be careful for that, It's not necessarily everyone will feel it, but some people might, because it is Mars is there in your 12th house. But overall, it's not so bad. It just goes there in one, very quickly in 1 month. So it will be over very quickly as well. Just stay away from illegal and dodgy stuff or backstabbing stuff yourself, because karma can bite you back. And yes. So this is what I see. Oh, and one last group of people, those of you who are born with ascendant in Aquarius, from 20 to 24 degrees in Aquarius, but only the ascendant, not the sun or the moon. Aquarius ascendant from 20 to 24 degrees. You're having Jupiter transit your 7th house. Straight there. Happens once in 12 years. Very rare. I mean, if you're single, make sure you check if your ascendant is from 20 to 24 degrees in Aquarius, because now can be the time when you meet someone you can marry. Now can be the time when you get married. Now can be the time when your relationship goes to a next level. Now can be a time you can write a very successful, sign a very successful partnership or business deal, because 7th house also rules all kind of interactions which are contractual. It doesn't have to be just marriage and relationships, where you make a promise and you have to stick to it. And Jupiter, the great benefic being there, make sure that if you either it brings you such people that you can partner with who are very beneficial to you, or if you're already in such partnerships, you can benefit from them, cooperate with others. Your success comes from being with others, cooperating, partnering, looking for support from others rather than from yourself. Or if you're, in a marriage, cooperating with your partner to do something, or your partner can bring some sense of joy and happiness in your life. The sex life can improve, for one thing. The feeling of in love can increase as well if your relationships have been a bit on the rocks. Because recently, especially those degrees, people with 20 to 24 degrees in Aquarius have been tested in relationships, because Saturn was, especially in October and the months before, was on these degrees, so it was a bit tough on you. But now when Saturn moves away, Jupiter comes over, and Jupiter makes sure that as much pain you suffered on account of relationships or on account of certain problems, Jupiter brings some new opportunities now which will help you and be open to those blessings. Thank you.